Hi, my name's Tom and welcome to the Go Start Now YouTube channel. Last year I built a Shopify store and since then I've built 2 more stores and in total I've generated $81,000 in revenue. I started this YouTube channel because I want to show people what it's really like to build a Shopify store from scratch and how I got to where I was today. There's no shortcuts, there's no overnight success, it takes hard work and dedication. So I started last year. I've always been interested in online business and I've always watched different videos, YouTube tutorials, I've played with a few different things, but I never really properly started. Now last year in March, so it hasn't even been a whole year yet, I started my first proper store. And when I mean proper, I mean as in I give it the full time, I went all in, give it dedication, I put work into it, and even put money into it to start off with. Not a lot of money, but a little bit of money. This store was selling supplements in the UK, and there was a little bit of a unique selling point. And I hope to go more in depth on this channel about what that is and what I do. But for now, I want to keep it short and simple. So that's what I started to do. So the brands were already known brands, and I put them onto a Shopify store. I built a brand around it. I built an Instagram page, Facebook page, and I started advertising through Instagram for free by going on and liking and following different people and pages and just following that process consistently. And that's what led to my first few sales. Since then, I've learned a lot. I've gone into paid advertisement, I've gone into influencer marketing, and I've done all these things to build the brand to where it is now. This store now has done over 2,000 orders, and it's going really well. I want to talk about why I'm now shifting my focus onto some other stores. Although I'm keeping that store open because it is making money and profit, it's not making as much as I would like for the amount of work I'm putting in. I'm going to show some stats and show people the Shopify store itself, some of the the revenue, the ups and downs of the months. You can see when I've put more work in and I haven't, when I've paid more for advertising and when I haven't. I'm going to put these onto the screen now so you can start to see what it's like building a business over the last year. For the supplement business, I use wholesalers in the UK. I add the products, which are from well-known brands, onto the site. We've got a little bit of a unique selling point. And then I sell the products on there via Instagram, Facebook, paid ads sometimes, Google advertisement, and that's how I've done it. So I'm at the point now where it's actually ranking on Google for certain types of keywords and naturally ranking in terms of SEO, and that's where that business is best performed and needs to be. Paid advertisement is hard because the margins are very low. So my margins are around 20 to 25% on all of the products on average. So I'm going to talk about now what I've done because I've shifted my focus now. Originally I was focusing on that business. I spent a lot of time building that business where it is, and it is making money and it is making profit, but it's not where I'd like it to be after working as hard as I have for the last 7 to 8 months. So I've shifted my focus onto 2 new businesses. One is a dropshipping store, however, it's not your normal AliExpress dropshipping. It's like print on demand, but it's personalised. So it's personalised items with print on demand. Now the reason I went into this is because personalised items are easier to sell than just a generic print on demand t-shirt or poster or whatever it is you decide to sell. Personalised items gain more traction when doing paid ads and on Google ads because people feel like they're getting more for their money. So I've started doing that and that's going well, and I'm putting more effort into that store because the margins are 50 to 60% compared to 20 to 25%. Now the third Shopify store I've started is a clothing brand, specifically a gym wear clothing brand. Now I'm not doing this on my own because I'm already running 2 businesses, which is hard enough as it is. So I'm doing this one with one of my good friends, and we're very much in the early stages of this business. We've made a few sales, we were just testing some products, and now we've done that. We've gone completely branded, and we've gone to Alibaba. We've now got a good amount of stock coming into the UK this month or the beginning of next month, and we're going to be working on selling that and building that brand. So they are the 3 businesses that I'm currently running. I know that was brief, but that's the way I want to keep it. I'm going to go into more depth as the channel goes on. I might even try and create a store live on the channel through different episodes. I'm looking forward to doing something like that, so I can give you a real in-depth knowledge of of how Shopify works, how to start the business, what to do, how to advertise, how to find the right products. So having built these 3 businesses to where they are today, I've learned a lot and I've learned from my mistakes. And I want to give you guys 5 top tips for starting your own online business. So my first tip is to start now. Obviously make sure you do your research, but just start. Stop looking around or hesitating whether to do it or not. Just go ahead and start. Go on Shopify, make a website. As long as you kind of got an idea of what you want to do, then just go ahead and start learning. You can learn whilst you do it, but it's important that you just start, because if you don't start, you'll just leave it later and later. Months go by, and then before you know it, it's been 3-4 months and you're thinking, why did I not start that 4 months ago? What, someone else might be doing it now. So just start now and crack on. Tip number 2, take a look at your margins. So you've got a product, an idea, a brand that you want to go ahead and do. Now this relates back to what I did at the start, and the mistake I made is I didn't take a look at the margins enough. I should have looked at how much I was making per sale, like on average, and how much I was expecting to make and how much the profit margins were. The higher your profit margins, the more room you have to advertise and use that money for advertisement. If your profit margins are low, you're going to have to try and gain them sales organically, and that takes time and that takes a lot of effort. If you can pay for advertisement, you can reach a lot more people a lot quicker using that paid advertisement. So I would suggest making sure your margins are good, and what I mean by good is making sure they're probably above 40%. If it's above 40%, that is ideal. 50, 60%, great. That means you've got a lot of room to pay for these ads and get your business going quicker. Tip number 3 is to make sure you're choosing the right products and brand. Again, this relates back to your margins, but also just take a look at the brand, take a look at your competition. Are there loads of people doing it? Then maybe it's going to be hard to get into. Or are there loads of people doing it, but there's a huge market for it? Well, then there's probably room for you. Have a look if there's a lot of companies advertising. Is there a lot of competition? Is there too much competition? If you think there's room for you, then go ahead and start that. You don't have to reinvent the wheel. You can do something very similar to someone else, as long as you're not copying their product exactly, logos, etc., and there's no patents or anything like that stopping you from doing so, then you don't have to reinvent the wheel. You can do something that someone might already be doing, as long as it's not too crowded, as long as there's room for you to go into it. Again, I started reselling branded supplements and stuff like that. That's nothing new. That was already there. It was just the way that I did it that put a bit of a spin on it, and the way that I advertised, I was able to gain customers. So you don't have to reinvent the wheel. You don't need to sit there and think of a product that might solve everyone's issues. It's not necessarily the way. Obviously, if you do have something in mind or you found something, then by all means go for it. Tip number 4 is to not get disheartened. You're gonna have ups and downs throughout your journey of building an online store. You need to make sure that if you don't get a few sales on the first day or week, that you consistently put work in to try and get them sales. Don't give up after a couple of days. Give yourself the time to put the effort in. Obviously, if it's not working, make sure to quickly realise that and then change the product or brand. But my top tip is just to not get disheartened, to keep going, keep trying, try different things. If one product or brand doesn't work, try another one, just keep going. And then lastly, tip number 5 is to utilise the resources you have available now. It's not like 10 years ago where we had to try and go and find this information from someone else, or go and do courses to learn this, or it was just really hard to try and create an actual business. You're now in a position where there is an abundance of information on YouTube, Google. You can just go onto there, ask a question, type something, or even like a tutorial or anything, it will probably be there. So utilize that. You don't need to pay for these potential courses, that might cost you like thousands. Yeah, if there's value in it and you think and know there will be value in it, and it'll help you get to where you want to be a lot quicker, and you have the money to spend, then it's up to you by all means. But just utilise what you've got for free. There's enough information out there to do that. So I'm hoping this YouTube channel will benefit you guys, because I'm going to go through how I've built the businesses in more depth and how I'm still building them. I'm very early on in my stage of doing this. I've learned a lot, I've got a lot to share, and hopefully this will stop you guys making the same mistakes I did when I started these businesses. So I'm going to wrap it up there. That's my 5 top tips, and that's a little bit about myself and what I've done so far. I'm hoping to bring out more videos, bring you guys more information and value, maybe some tutorials or maybe some more tips, and also to show you maybe a bit more about the businesses I'm actually currently running and the journey they're going on. 2021 is going to be a huge year. I'm hoping to take these businesses to the next level, hoping to really build them. I'm focusing, like I said, more on the ones that have got more potential, and I'm going to be building them. I'll take you guys on a journey. If you want more specific videos on certain topics and tutorials, let me know in the comments. I'll do whatever I can. I'll be answering all the comments below. So please, like, subscribe, share, and I'll see you in the next one.